Welcome to the Sports on Tap interview. I'm Noah Jacobson, and we are joined by four special guests from Medina. We have Medina head coach Chris Hassinger, and we have seniors Jaylen Payne, and we have juniors Benny Meyers and Brock Beech. Guys, thank you for taking the time and joining me.
Thank you.
Anytime, Noah.
Thank you.
You guys pulled out the win against Shaker Heights in the sectional final, 74-57. Just talk about how you guys were able to pull through and get the victory, and just talk about how well you guys played on defense. I know Kellen Smith, you played very well against him on the defensive side, and just talk about how you guys were able to get the win.
Yeah, we kind of broke down a couple times in the third quarter. I think it was a tie game at some point in the third quarter. And then we really had to focus in the fourth quarter, play defense, get rebounds, and then push the ball and get some baskets.
Pretty much sums it up. I mean, I know coming off, he has told us that they were going to go on a run and that we just had to withstand their run and keep our composure, keep our heads in the game, and just weather the storm and push through it.
I mean, in the tournament, every game's going to be physical like that. And they had Kellen Smith and multiple other physical players. So, I mean, going into the game, we know we had to play physical and that they were going to punch us at some point. And like Jaylen said, we withstood that run and we just kept playing Medina basketball. And I think that led us to the victory at the end of the day.
Yeah, there's no doubt, Noah. You know, Benny gets the assignment to guard some of the best guards in the state of Ohio, in Northeast Ohio. And you know, Brock probably played one of his best defensive games, guarding their guards because they're really athletic and strong. So, you know, up front, we did a really good job getting it done. And you got the dirty man down low, Jaylen and Connor Smith. But, you know, those guys just kind of hold us together. And Jaylen's been such a good leader for us defensively by talking and communicating, getting guys to switch and telling them when to fight through. And his ball screen defense was spectacular as well.
Hess, you know, Brock and Benny are like in their first year experiencing at the varsity level, and they have done a really great job. And then Jaylen's in his second year at the varsity level, and then he's had a really remarkable senior season. Just talk about the progress that those three have given since they've entered the program.
Let's talk about Jaylen first. Jaylen is a kid that we had starting earlier in the year. And I could probably count on one hand how many seniors in the state of Ohio would accept that role of coming off the bench because we thought it was better. And Jaylen can add this in a minute, but you know, he's embraced that role because he's taken the younger players under his tutelage as we've gone, and they've gotten so much better. Benny's a kid that kind of struggled at the beginning of the year, and now he's just so sound for us. His basketball IQ is extremely increased as the season went on. And like I said, he's our best on-ball defender at times during the game. If we want to get into people and disrupt what they're doing, Benny's our guy for that. And then Brock, he's done an unbelievable job. He's probably been our most consistent junior this year. He shot it really, really well for us. And, you know, his big thing is what we saw progress in the last game was his defense. We've been on him about his stance and being low, and we want to continue to be one of the best defensive teams in Northeast Ohio. We're going to have to commit all five guys. And, you know, by bringing Brock along like that too as well, it's really helped us.
Brock, I just got to ask, I mean, this is your first year experience in the varsity level, as I told Hass earlier, and that, so, I mean, just talk about what you have learned a lot from like the seniors, you know, Carter, Luke, Hunter, and even Jaylen, and even your brother, Brock Beech.
Yeah, I learned a lot about leading. Coach gets on me all the time about saying stuff when I'm quiet and everything. Leading is the most important thing in basketball right now for us. Like, we have a bunch of leaders, our seniors, most importantly. Just learned a lot from them, taking tips from all of them and stuff like that.
And then Benny, this is also your first year at the varsity level, and you've been coming off the bench all year. I mean, when I watched you, I mean, your defense has been unbelievable. And then just talk about the spark that you've given to Hass and the team.
Well, our starters go in and start every game and do a great job. And when we come in as a bench, me, Junior, and Kellen, which I give credit to Junior and Kellen as well, because when they come in with me, those are like my wing guys, like we do it together when we go in. So the starters lead out there, and then when we go in, we have to carry on what they're doing because, else the game is going to fall down. So we basically just try to go do what they do and keep up their mojo when they get us a lead and then carry on from that.
What was nice, Noah, the last game against Shaker was we had Luke Klanick and Carter Hip, our two biggest scorers, and our two guys with the most experience in foul trouble. They both had 3 fouls in the third quarter. And it was these 3 guys and a couple other guys holding it together for us and actually pushing the score up. And that just goes to Jaylen and Benny as being subs. And those guys just being committed all year long and the progress they've made because, man, you know how you've been at my practices. You were one of my managers. No, you know how tough I am on kids and put them through the ringer to make them mentally tough for the tournament. And it's so nice to see Ben and Jaylen not panic in those situations. And I'm just really proud of them. They've done a great job leading the bench.
You guys face Maple Heights on Thursday night in the district semifinals at Lakewood at 7 p.m. You guys met them earlier and you guys lost to them 47-45. So I know how tough it is to rebound from that game. Just talk about what's going to be the biggest keys to Maple Heights and what have you seen from them on film recently?
Probably one of the biggest factors for the next game is rebounding. We've been working on it all week, coaches giving us drills and everything to make our rebounding perfect, and that's probably going to be the most important factor on Thursday.
What goes along with that is not only rebounding, but hitting a guy, finding the ball, and then fetching it, and then making sure we have a bust-out dribble because they love to trap after you get a rebound. We've been working on our bust-out dribbles, like to the outlet guy and everything, and we just got to make sure we communicate on defense and make sure everybody finds somebody to box out and just go get the ball.
Well, obviously rebounding like they both said, but then also they're a very athletic team. So when they go on a run, start pressing, things like that, we just got to stay composed, listen to our seniors. They're going to lead us and just run the stuff that our coaches tell us to run. And then if we stick to that, I think that result should be pretty good.
Well said, boys.
And then Jaylen, I just got to ask, Michael Lewandowski, he's a big key player for Maple Heights. He had 11 rebounds in that game, which you guys lost to them earlier in the season, 47-45. So what is going to be your biggest strategy on the defensive side going against him again?
I'd say last time, like you said, he's a really, really physical guy, and he's what we like to call a dirt dog. He out hustles people. He's phenomenal in grabbing boards, and it's hard to find him. What I'd say we have to do the most is make sure we get a body on him at all times. Just make sure somebody sees him, and we got to make sure we box him out. And if he's under basket, we got to make sure we wedge him out because he is a strong guy. And people like Benny or Luke, if they get caught on him, box him out. They just got to make sure we wedge him out so he doesn't get the ball. And not necessarily the people that are wedging out need to get the rebound. We just need to make sure we have a body on him so he doesn't get 11 boards or more.
Well, guys, thank you for taking the time and joining me. I know you guys have been getting ready for this game on Thursday night, and I wish you guys the best on good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
Thanks, Noah.
Thank you, Noah.
All right. Thanks, guys.